Linjiangxian, returning to Lingao at night, Linjiangxian, 夜归临皋, is a famous poem by Su Shi, also known as Su Dongpa, one of the greatest poets of the Song dynasty. Su Shi wrote this poem during his exile in Huangshu, a time of both personal and professional adversity. The poem reflects his philosophical resignation in deep contemplation about life, nature, and his place in the world. 夜饮东坡醒复醉，归来仿复三更。At night, I drink at the eastern slope, returning home as if it were the 3 o'clock in the morning. The poem begins with Su Shi drinking at a place called Eastern Slope, reflecting his nickname Dongpa, Eastern Slope. The act of drinking suggests a temporary escape from reality, a moment of carefree indulgence amidst the challenges he faced during exile. The return home in the late night conveys a sense of quietness and solitude. 家童鼻息已雷鸣，敲门都不应，倚杖听江声。My servant snores thunder like a drum. I knock on the door, but no one responds. Leaning on a walking stick, I listen to the sound of the river. The description of the servant's loud snores humorously captures details of life, contrasting with the poet's more profound state of mind. Su Shi's action of leaning on his walking stick and listening to the river indicates a moment of quiet reflection and a connection with nature. 长恨此身非我有，何时忘却营营？夜阑风静胡闻平。I always lament that this body is not mine. When will I forget the constant striving? This line reveals Su Shi's philosophical musings on the impermanence and transient nature of life. The idea that this body is not mine suggests a detachment from worldly concerns and a recognition that life is beyond one's control, a common theme in Taoist and Buddhist thought. 小舟从此逝，江海寄余生. The concluding lines, the small boat drifts away from here, entrusting my remaining years to the rivers and seas, are rich in metaphor and emotion. The small boat symbolizes Su Shi's life, fragile and adrift, while the rivers and seas represent the vast, uncontrollable forces of nature and fate. This imagery evokes a sense of surrender and acceptance, as Su Shi resigns himself to the flow of life and the will of the universe. Su Shi's work often integrates elements of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. In this poem, the Taoist influence is particularly strong, with its emphasis on natural harmony, detachment, and the flow of life. The poem embodies a Taoist attitude towards life's ups and downs, advocating for a peaceful acceptance of circumstances beyond one's control. In Taoism, the concept of wu wei, or non-action, plays a central role. Wu wei does not imply inaction, but rather acting in accordance with the natural flow of the universe, without forcing or striving against it. This aligns closely with the imagery of the small boat drifting on the rivers and seas. The poet's choice to entrust my remaining years to the natural forces suggests a surrender to the Tao, embracing the natural flow of life without resistance. Zhuangzi often uses water as a metaphor for the Tao because of its adaptable, yielding nature. Water flows effortlessly around obstacles, always finding its own level, much like how one should move through life according to Taoist philosophy. The rivers and seas in the poem symbolize the boundless, ever-changing nature of the Tao, which encompasses all things and guides them according to their inherent nature. Zhuangzi's writings frequently explore the theme of the illusion of control over life's events. In his famous story of the butterfly dream, Zhuangzi questions the nature of reality and the boundaries of the self. Similarly, the line from Su Shi's poem reflects a recognition that attempting to control life's course is futile. The small boat, representing the self or the ego, cannot steer its own path against the vast forces of the rivers and seas. This acceptance of life's unpredictability and the inevitability of change is a core Taoist insight. Zhuangzi teaches that clinging to rigid plans or desires leads to suffering, whereas aligning oneself with the Tao brings harmony and peace. In the poem, the act of entrusting one's life to the natural forces reflects this Taoist wisdom, suggesting a deep understanding and acceptance of life's impermanence and the natural order. Su Shi's Linjiangxian, returning to Lingao at night, is a profound reflection on life, nature, and the human condition. Through its vivid imagery and philosophical depth, the poem captures Su Shi's inner journey towards acceptance and peace amidst the challenges of exile. It showcases his ability to find beauty and meaning in the difficulties and his philosophical insights into the nature of existence. This poem remains a timeless piece, resonating with readers through its exploration of universal themes of impermanence, acceptance, and the search for peace and harmony in a turbulent world.